All right, guys, so you're here because you realized you need to get stronger. Most people just need to focus on strength and everything else will be fine. So you want to learn about how to make your own home gym without breaking the bank and wasting a whole bunch of space. All right, so if you see my videos on strength training, I follow the starting strength program. Any kind of basic strength program, which includes the compound lifts, squats, bench and overhead press, deadlifts, and maybe power clean and some pull-ups. That's like what almost everybody needs, and that's it, right? Let me show you the bare minimum. You can get started with this. You need a power rack. It has to be a power rack. You gotta have these safety pins. I'll explain that. You need a Olympic barbell. Doesn't have to be the $300 one. It should be one that is of decent quality and is not gonna fall apart on you. You need a bench, a solid bench. It doesn't have to be one that can incline like this. I've had this one for years. I suggest one that's not too wide because you don't want your shoulders being stuck on it. And you don't want one that's too skinny and you're falling off of it. But a solid bench. You're gonna need Olympic weight plates. I've got about 390 pounds worth. If you can buy enough to get started with 150 pounds, that is enough. And then you can add more later. So I would start with 245s, 225s, 210s, and 25s. That's good enough. Later on, you can buy more 5s, you can buy more 10s, you can buy some 35s if you want. You start buying more 45s. Eventually you're gonna need 2.5s because you're gonna be going up in smaller increments. That's when you're stronger. And then eventually you're going to be going up 2 pounds at a time. This is a half-pound plate. Yes, you will eventually need this later on though. You're gonna need some kind of clamp system, safety, so the weights aren't falling off. These are fine too, as long as they're metal clamps. You should invest in a good weightlifting belt. Doesn't have to be super fancy. A leather one is fine. Most people can get by with a 3-inch wide belt. If it's too wide, it's gonna stab into your ribs or your hip bones. So 3-inch fits most dudes. So that's it, guys. That's all you need to get started. 155 pounds, a power rack, barbell, and a bench. You can already start getting stronger. As you're getting stronger, you're saving up funds to buy more equipment and to improve your system. The dumbbells aren't even necessary. I'm telling you, I can't remember the last time I used these. My kids come in here and play with these. Kettlebell, not necessary. Bass amp, definitely not necessary. These are from an old set I had like 15 years ago. I don't even know why I still have them. Eventually, you're gonna want to get some bumper plates. When you're learning power clean, that's going to help. We can do pull-ups here. I wish I had a more close together grip, but it's fine. We could do pull-ups and wide grip chin-ups. And then we also got some little adapter thingamabobs that'll go in here, and we could do some dips. Eventually, or maybe at the beginning, you're going to want to get some weightlifting shoes. What you don't need are all these crazy cable machines and all this other stuff. If you're mostly healthy, like not paralyzed, pretty much everybody can do strength training, the compound lifts. It's just like if you've got a bad back, you don't start at a 500-pound deadlift. You can start with the empty bar and slowly work your way up. You slowly add weight as time goes by. You get stronger, that injured area gets stronger. You might even heal that injury. So all this extra stuff people are investing in, like a treadmill. A decent treadmill is like $1,000 or a couple $1,000s. And I'm just of the opinion, like, if you don't live in the Antarctic or Alaska in the winter, you can go outside. It's like, go outside and do the cardio. The fresh air that you will get alone going outside will do better than any kind of workout you could do inside on a treadmill or whatever. So I do have a sport bike here that I bought a long time ago when I was training people. I used it to rehab the torn PCL in my knee to get the passive range of motion, but pretty much to heal my PCL and every other injury, I've focused on strength. The most important thing is your rack, okay? This is what's called a power rack. The most dangerous thing about lifting weights is not having a spotter and doing stupid things. This power rack cost about 300 something bucks on Amazon, generic power rack. The key with power racks is you've got to have safety pins. That's the most important thing. And then as far as choosing your power rack, the only thing you need to look for is the weight rating. What is it rated for? It needs to be a little bit higher, maybe even significantly higher than like what you plan to get up to squatting. So as an example, this one is rated at 490 pounds. With my back problems, I'll never get there, no way. But I will get up to a mid 300 squats. Why the extra room? Well, think about it. If you just finish your third set, fifth rep of your heavy squats, you're just going to kind of throw it into the rack. We don't do that on purpose, but you want to get that weight off of your back. Physics tells us that 300 something pounds has now become close to 400 because of the extra momentum you put behind it. So you need to make sure it's rated for pretty far above what you plan to work with. And that includes the safety pins. So you can see I've got mine set up. I know that's where my squat height is. That's where my overhead press is if I fail an overhead press. And then we've got our bench setting. People get freaked out by squatting without a spotter, but if you've got safety pins, when it starts to get hard, okay, if you're doing starting strength 3x5, you're gonna get to the third, fourth, and fifth reps, especially in your last set. You're gonna come up and you're not gonna know if you could do those last 2 or 3 reps. But it's training, you're gonna do it anyway. So what the CrossFitters do is when they start to grind coming back up, if they're scared, they just dump the weight, okay? If you're in a commercial gym and you don't have to care about hurting other people or destroying equipment, it's on the gym, fine, go ahead. But yeah, that's one reason I don't go to public gyms anymore. If you're at home, you don't wanna destroy your own expensive stuff or hurt yourself. So the safety pins give you that freedom. That's it. The only thing that's hurt or damaged is your ego. The same goes for bench. People have actually died benching alone and getting trapped under a bar. There's 2 methods, okay? You cannot use clips on the bar, and if you're alone and you get pinned, you just dump the weight off. Again, commercial gym where you're destroying other people's shit and hurting other people and the gym's liable for that. Fine, man, go for it. Dump all the shit you want. I don't want to destroy my own walls or maybe hurt somebody. One of my kids came in here just to watch. So we put the safety pins. As you're benching, your chest is poked out. You set these safety pins just high enough to where if you fail that bench, you can just set it down, suck your chest in, and you can crawl out of it. So what about a deadlift platform? All right, you see these beautiful wooden structures in the gyms with like a grip on it. That stuff's awesome. And what you can do is go to Home Depot or Lowe's and just get a couple sheets of plywood, screw them together, don't nail them, screw them together, and that's already a start. You can order some rollout mat and glue it down on that, and there's your deadlift platform. I haven't even gotten there yet, so this is what I did. We got these crappy freaking foam things you can put down on the floor, and I just cut myself a little space. So this protects the floor, and yeah, there's maybe 1/8 of an inch of extra height. So that would disqualify me for a perfect barbell deadlift. But who cares? It's a solution that I got now instead of waiting and finding excuses to wait. I wanted to start deadlifting immediately. This has been working all the way up to 340-pound deadlifts. One day we'll fix it. So there you go, guys. It's as easy as that. Start with the basics. You don't have to have all these crazy machines and all this stuff. The great majority of people just need to start getting stronger. And you do that with the 4 compound movements, maybe 5 if you add in power cleans. Most people will see extreme benefits just doing that for 6 to 9 months, out to a year in many cases, depending on where you start, all the way out to 2 years, okay? At the very least, you've got a place to train whenever you want, whenever you can. You don't have hours, you don't have payments. And here's a bonus for you. If you live in an area where they will not let you go to the gym because of your health again, now you have a space where your neighbors and friends can come train, as long as you can trust them not to report you. And you might be able to pay off your home gym within a couple months. Enjoy.